Hey everybody, it's Derek the Red here with Out of the LongBox, Episode 1. We're going to be talking about Flash #1 from Rebirth. To catch you up to speed, in Rebirth, we see that Wally West has been trapped out of time in the Speed Force, and something has stolen 10 years of everyone's lives. And Wally West is trying to get back, and finally Barry remembers him and grabs him and pulls him back into the universe. In Flash Rebirth #1, we see Barry going around and trying to figure out what's going on. He goes to Batman. They talk a little bit, and Flash #1, we find Barry in his normal day-to-day life. We get mentions of what's going on in the greater overall Rebirth storyline, but this is really just focused on Barry. We see Barry. We get a flashback of Barry getting his powers, and in this one we see a detective friend from back at that time witness this and call for help. Flash forward a few years after Barry's had his powers, and he reconnects with this detective friend who is put back on the Day Force. We see Barry at a crime scene with him. Barry, of course, is late to something with Iris, so he has to leave very quickly. And he meets up with Iris and the New 52 Wally West. If you've watched the Flash TV show on the CW, which is great, by the way, you'll notice a little bit of similarity about how this Wally interacts with Barry and how the TV Wally interacts with that Barry at first, help with a science project. So a couple of similarities there. While it jitters, Wally sees some fire trucks screaming by going to an apartment complex downtown. Barry starts to excuse himself, and Wally says, well, take your pick, because there's also an armed robbery on a Star Labs convoy, which, as it happens, Barry's detective friend is a part of. So Barry has to make a choice. What's he going to do? He can't be in two places at once, even though he's the fastest man alive. Barry goes to the apartment complex because there are more lives to save there, and the police are protecting the armored car. So he figures he's got a little bit of time there. Gets everybody out of the apartment complex and makes his way to the armored car, but unfortunately he is not fast enough. But doesn't end the way you think, because Central City may have another speedster. So we'll see how that pans out in the coming issues. Overall, this issue was really great. The pencils, the inks, the coloring, all good, all energetic, gives you that sense of speed. Story was well paced, gives Barry a tough decision to make. Issue is out this week. It's out today. Go get it at your local comic book shop. This is Derek the Red. This has been Out of the LongBox, and this episode is bagged and boarded.